Advance tax is not just paying tax in advance. There is a time schedule allotted by the provisions of the Income Tax Act, and accordingly you have to pay. These rules will be applicable for corporate and non-corporate assessees. So in this module, let us look into the provisions of paying advance tax, the due dates for paying advance tax, what are the consequences of not paying advance tax on time, and what are the benefits to government and taxpayer with respect to advance tax payment. So you know that if your tax liability is 10,000 or more, then you have to pay advance tax. That is for salaried employees, corporates, professionals, business people, or they have to pay the advance tax. So the schedule is like that. By 15th June, you have to pay 15% of your advance tax. By 15th September, you have to pay 45% of your advance tax. By 15th December, 75%, and by 15th March, 100%. But you have to remember, those who are opting for presumptive tax payment, then they can pay 100% of the tax liability by 15th March. Now, what is presumptive tax scheme? That is a small trader. Their income is limited. They are not keeping the proper books of accounts. So what they can do is they can declare their income. Say for example, a trader, a shopkeeper in a locality, his turnover is 1 lakh. So he is telling that 8% is my profit. So 8% of 1 lakh is rupees 8,000 is his tax liability. So this advance tax at one time he can pay before 15th of March. So these are the schedules for payment. Now what are the advantages to the government and taxpayer? Government can ensure continuous and regular supply of income for their developmental activities, and it will smoothen the tax administration. As and when you earn, you are paying. So for the assessee also, if you see that, or a taxpayer, if you see that, they will not be overburdened by paying tax at the end of the financial year. They can spread out their payments in an evenly manner. And there is time slots between different installments. So you can also plan your finances and keep the money ready for paying advance tax. So this advance tax concept is well accepted, and there will be consequences if you are not following the income tax provisions regarding advance tax payment. Section 234B, that is saying that if you are not paying advance tax on time, it can attract interest penalty. 234C says that there is shortfall. You paid advance tax, but that is not the correct tax amount you are supposed to pay. That means if there is a shortfall in the payment of advance tax, then also consequences will be interest will be charged for the amount of shortage you are supposed to pay. Now sometimes other consequences will be there. Other penalties will be there that will be decided by the higher authorities or the provisions of the Income Tax Act. So you have to remember that we have seen that appeal is there. If a taxpayer is not happy with the tax assessment, he can appeal to the higher authorities. There is a provision for revision, that is re-examination of your tax order by a higher authority. Then advance tax concept, as and how you earn, as and when you earn, you can pay the tax. So these three concepts are making efficient, fair and transparent tax administration in our country.